Now at 9, the downpour of rain is causing flooding issues in parts of the 4 states. Plus, why a bill to extend the mandatory sentences of certain crimes stalls in the Oklahoma Senate. And we'll meet a Joplin High School student joining a prestigious summer program through MIT.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
In some places, it was too much rain too quickly. This is Northeast Star Valley Road in Cherokee County, Kansas, where the roadway became a waterway. And the flooding concern only grows in some parts of the 4 states with more rain ahead. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach, and we're going to go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty.
Yeah, lots of rain for a good chunk of us during the daytime hours today. A lot of areas picked up 4, 5, even 6 inches of rain. Kept our temps down 61. You can see in Joplin, just shy of 2 inches of rain for us today. We have flash flood warning still in effect across Vernon County and also into Cedar County. All the heaviest rain now pushing out of here, but already look at it regenerating back across northeastern parts of Oklahoma. We're going to get some heavy amounts of rain once again as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Kind of spotty the next several hours, but once we get into the early morning hours, we get a pretty solidified line that drives in. Some of these storms could be low grade severe. Main threat's going to be gusty winds and also some large hail. Heavy amounts of rain. This should be out of here by about the noon hour. If it can get out by noon, we can regenerate some sunshine in the afternoon. Severe weather once again. So we'll talk about that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. And we saw flooding in a number of low-lying areas in the 4 states, and those include parts of Jasper and Lawrence counties in southwest Missouri, along with Cherokee and Crawford counties in Kansas. And there's lots of water over Kafer Road west of Missouri 43. Drivers there and elsewhere need to be cautious and might have to find alternate routes. The mother of a 1999 Welch, Oklahoma murder victim is advocating for justice, but it seems, at least for now, her push for reform is stalled. In 1999, Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman went missing, and Danny and Kathy Freeman were found dead. It wasn't until 2018 that a suspect, Ronnie Busick, was arrested. Busick pleaded guilty to accessory to murder in the case and was sentenced to 10 years in prison with 5 years probation. However, after 2.5 years, Busick was released. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has reactions from the family.
Lorene Bible, Laura's mother, saw Busick's early release as an injustice and sought change through Laura and Ashley's law.
He was at the Freemans. He knew Danny and Kathy had been shot, the house set on fire. He watched them abduct the girls, bring them over here. He was part of this scene over here in this trailer where the girls were held. But, you know, there was no consequences other than a slap on the wrist, go in and spend 2 years, get your health good, and you're out back on the streets 20 miles from here.
The bill adds first and second degree accessory to murder to the list of crimes, mandating offenders to serve 85% of their prison sentence before being eligible for parole consideration. It passed the Oklahoma House in February, then passed the Senate Judiciary Committee on March 26th.
I knew that you could go to jail for 45 years and spend 85% of that time in jail because you were an accessory. Maybe you'd think twice. Or doing the part of the investigation, hey, here's the deal. If you talk and you help, you can get a lower sentence. If not, if you're straight up, Ronnie Busick wouldn't tell us nothing.
However, the bill was not heard on the Senate floor by its deadline, so it seems as though this is where the bill stops.
Now we're going to go back and look at the reform so that the wording is, we don't want people to be in prison longer than they need to be. But there's also, this isn't a slap on the wrist. This isn't somebody who went by and took $20 from you. This is somebody that watched people be murdered, girls be tortured, and did nothing.
Reporting in Ottawa County, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Lorene says she now has to refile for the bill to go through the whole process again. The bill will have to use different wording so as to not interfere with the Oklahoma prisoner reform. The Skill Resource Center hosted a customer and community appreciation picnic today. The center supports independent living for persons with disabilities, and the event provided a great way to celebrate their clients and the community that supports them.
I think really it's about seeing that the disability community is out here and we are living in our own homes and we are part of our community and we are contributing to our community, to all the parts of what that means, So it's just good to get people out and let people see that, hey, we are a huge. The
Skill Resource Center is driven by, and focused on persons with disabilities, their families, and communities.
Okay.
Well, students in McDonald County today helped fight hunger in their community. The organization Meals of Hope partnered with McDonald County FFA to pack meals of rice and beans for local residents in need. They packed an impressive 25,000 meals today. Wow. Working together in assembly lines to make sure no one goes hungry.
I hope to gain that, like next year, I hope we have way more involvement. That way, a lot of people do it. It actually helps people in need. I'm just glad that is there for it.
This is the second year the students have packed meals. Well, Joplin High School Junior will spend the summer participating in a Massachusetts Institute of Technology program. The prestigious opportunity is available to only about 80 students globally. KOM's Fernanda Silva has more.
From demonstrating basic science to elementary school students.
Now the key is to make sure that this piece of paper is not too wide.
To spending the summer in one of the most prestigious universities in the planet, MIT.
Because it's selective, it's a very small group of students who got accepted, and that allows you to develop tighter connections with the other students and with the faculty teaching the classes.
The MIT program offers a 6-week residential experience aimed at introducing rising seniors to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
I have a passion for STEM, and I take a lot of time out of my day to practice STEM and to learn about STEM. And so taking part in this program it really helps me truly know that I have a place in STEM.
Carvener knows exactly what that place is. He hopes to go to MIT for college and to become a physics researcher. But before that, he also hopes to bring that knowledge back to Joplin High School.
Next year, when I do another physics research project at the science research class here at the school, I'll have an even better pool of knowledge to pull from in making another research project.
Christian's teachers say they can't take too much credit for his achievements.
This summer I was taking my kids to the library, and sure enough, Christian was there studying matrix algebra, just of his own volition, not even taking a class or anything.
I just feel like I've been a small little blip in his success. I mean, it takes a lot of dedication.
A commitment that makes them proud.
It's amazing because I know that's his dream, knowing that he actually gets to go spend time there and work with people that are in his expertise. It is very, very rewarding.
It makes me really proud to have been like a teeny tiny part of that and to have encouraged him.
For Carvener, a chance of a lifetime. But he wants more.
Helps me know that, my future in STEM is looking bright.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOM News.
Nearly 41 students applied this year, and one of them, here's a proud mama moment for me, my own son, Dominic Buck. He's a junior at Pittsburgh High School. He also got accepted. His focus this summer will be in AI technology and engineering. It was Ladies' Night at the Ace Hardware store in Miami, Oklahoma. The event gave women a chance to enjoy some food and drinks while shopping through a garden sale. It wasn't just for the store, though. All of the money raised from the event is going to Children's Miracle Network, which helps cover medical costs for families with kids in the hospital.
ACE has been a national partner with Children's Miracle Network since 1991. In that time frame, they have raised almost $200 million. Last year alone in 2023, ACE Hardware, as a national partner, raised almost $23 million.
There were also raffles and swag bags for attendees. Coming up, researchers use AI technology to study plants to predict future medicines. We rely on Mother Earth for a lot, with many of the world's plants offering up materials used in common and important medications. But scientists at England's Royal Botanic Gardens say There's tons of plants that could be holding clues to how we can develop new medications in the future. Fox News' Sean Langill takes a closer look.
From cough drops to aspirin and beyond, many of the medical remedies we seek when we're sick have ingredients that come from nature. According to the Department of Agriculture, about 40% of drugs behind pharmacy counters in Western countries are derived from plants. But now scientists are trying to discover medicines of the future, combining the natural and digital worlds with help from artificial intelligence.
It's a huge study.
Researchers are using AI to analyze the properties of hundreds of species of plants in an effort to see how they could be related. AI will then cross-reference that genetic data with the properties of known medicines we use today.
So the project I'm leading at Kew aims to address this challenge by developing an artificial intelligence approach to predict which plant species would be more likely to contain lead compounds for drug discovery.
The team says finding other plants who can make new and existing medicines from is critical, citing how extracting materials from the same types of plants over time could cause dramatic declines in those species.
The anti-cancer drug paclitaxel was first isolated from the Pacific yew, which resulted in killing many trees because it was sourced from the bark. And so scientists turned to a related species in the same genus and extracted similar chemicals from the leaves.
Sean Langill, Fox News.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later Pitt State's spring football game is tomorrow. We're going to check out what to expect.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a rainy one for us today. Showers and thunderstorms. We had a couple severe thunderstorm warnings this afternoon as well. Very heavy amounts of rain, flooding rains across the region. We still have some showers out there. Look at the winds really moving the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam looking downtown. All right, heaviest rain from this afternoon is out of here, but we have additional showers, even a few thunderstorms, which are popping up northeastern parts of Oklahoma. And these are going to continue to do so as we go through the evening hours. Very scattered, nothing too strong, nothing severe, but they'll be a little bit more numerous over the next several hours. And then our severe threat will start to go up from that point in time. Look at all the showers and thunderstorms we had earlier today, the heaviest along and north of Interstate 44. And if you look at the rainfall amounts, check this out. Anywhere you see the red, at least 4 inches. So look at this from Nevada over to Stockton. We can go in on the north side of the metro, Carthage, almost 5 inches of rain. So that's why we've had the flash flooding concerns and issues throughout the day. Severe weather ongoing in western Kansas. That will not affect us, but to the south, we'll start to see some thunderstorms southwestern parts of Oklahoma. They will race toward us, and they will be here by the morning hours. And some of those could be strong to low grade severe. A level 2 out of 5 tomorrow. Really 2 time periods. In the morning, about 6 to 10 a.m., and then in the evening, between about 4 and 9 p.m. We're going to have to elevate all the threats, main threats, hail, wind, and we do have a tornado threat as we get into Friday afternoon. But we're not going to have a lot of storms. I'll show that to you here in 1 second. All right, through the night, scattered showers and thunderstorms picking up a bit by 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. And those are the ones that could be a little bit stronger and maybe a low-grade severe storm. Also heavy amounts of rain. Most of this pushes out of here by the noon hour. So this is critical because our dry line's back to the west. If we get some sunshine in here, it's going to allow thunderstorms to fire up again after 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Look at these guys trying to pop up. So we may only have like 1 or 2 storms, but if those fire up, they'll most likely be severe and most likely we'll have a pretty good chance to rotate. And then they're out of here by tomorrow evening. Then we have about a 24-hour stretch of dry weather. And then we go into Saturday, even a higher severe threat, level 3 out of 5, timing on Saturday. We're looking from 5 p.m. all the way to 8 a.m. the next morning. Heavy rain, a high threat, and again, we're going to have to elevate all the threats. We'll look at Saturday a little bit more in detail, of course, in our second half hour. Alert days next 3 days. Severe threat tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. There actually is a severe threat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as well, but we're not going to worry about that right now. But yeah, lots of thunderstorms, more flash flooding likely. So.
Well, and those temperatures are going up too. So
yeah, not too bad.
A little bit different than today's where it was cool rain.
It was cool.
Yeah, kind of felt nice. All right, thanks, Doug.
Yep.
Well, coming up, Southwest Missouri nursing home administrators react to new federal rules on minimum staffing requirements. President Biden announces a $6 billion agreement with Micron to open 2 semiconductor chip factories in the U.S. Now, the chips are used to power a variety of essential products, including smartphones, satellites, and artificial intelligence systems. Senior administration official says Micron is set to open a facility in Boise, Idaho by 2026, and another one in Clay, New York, 2 years later. The Biden administration has finalized the first ever minimum staffing rules at nursing homes, but it's a mandate that may be hard to fulfill. Joe Hickman explains.
The new rules apply to about 15,000 nursing homes around the country who receive federal funding and requires that a registered nurse be on site at all times. It also mandates that every resident receive over 3.5 hours of nursing care per day for things like getting dressed, going to the bathroom, and eating, meaning that a facility with 100 tenants would need at least 2 registered nurses and 10 to 11 nurse aides per shift. Prompted by the large number of deaths from COVID-19 in long-term care facilities, the new federal requirements are intended to solve problems due to sparse staffing, such as failing to diagnose illnesses, severe bed sores, and frequent falls. After 100,000 registered nurses left the industry during the pandemic, efforts have been made to recruit and quickly train new members of the workforce. But it's still predicted that by next year, the RN shortage will be around 78,000, and it's 63,000 by 2030. So nursing homes will be hard-pressed to find the staff they need to meet the new requirements.
When we look at the statistics, approximately 4 out of 496 certified facilities in the state of Missouri would actually meet the current mandate. That's impossible to be able to provide care. You can't just think that it's going to work the same as it is in, say, New York or California, as it would in Missouri. You have rural areas that have more difficulty hiring versus urban areas.
We ran a $10,000 sign-on bonus for a nurse for 2 months and didn't get a single application.
Tim Corbin is the administrator over the 65-patient Truman Lake Manor in Lowry City that has 72 employees. For his rural facility, the new mandate means
we may or may not survive. We're in rural communities. They're not RNs. We run sign-on bonuses. We pay for education. We are paying higher wages than we've ever paid. And still, you can't make these nurses appear that just simply aren't fair.
It's estimated that 2/3 of Missouri nursing homes will need to hire extra staff. Up next, a Southeast Kansas library throws a birthday party for its beloved cockatiel. It's not often you hear about a birthday party at a library or one for a cockatiel. That's exactly what happened today at the Erie, Kansas Public Library. Bjorn, the cockatiel, celebrated his 20th birthday today, though the library says he could be anywhere between 20 and 25 years old. He's become a staple at the library, alerting staff when someone arrives and playing with children who come in.
Bjorn is one of the few library animals around. I mean, there are a couple of libraries that have cats and that sort of thing. I don't know of another one that has a bird. I mean, and so Bjorn is kind of special. It's one of those things that he came. Actually, when I was interviewed for the job, one of the first questions was, will you keep Bjorn? So I wonder sometimes if that's how I got the job.
Attendees got to take part in some Bjorn-themed crafts. And I hear he's friendly with girls, but not with boys. Be careful, kids. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. The Supreme Court weighs in on whether Donald Trump is immune from prosecution for alleged crimes while he was in office. Plus, hundreds of students are arrested as protests continue on college campuses nationwide.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Is former President Trump immune from criminal charges for actions he took while in office? It's one of the questions the Supreme Court is weighing in a special session, which could have major impacts on future presidential administrations. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has the story.
Former President Donald Trump stuck in New York for his hush money criminal trial, while here in Washington, the Supreme Court heard oral arguments in a separate case, weighing whether Trump is immune from criminal charges for actions he took while in office. Dozens of demonstrators outside the Supreme Court protesting former President Trump's alleged role in trying to overturn the 2020 election results. Inside, justices heard hours of arguments over whether former presidents have absolute immunity from criminal prosecution. The landmark case stems from special counsel Jack Smith's federal election interference case against Trump, which is currently on hold awaiting the high court's decision.
This case has huge implications for the presidency, for the future of the presidency, for the future of the country, in my view.
Justices peppered attorneys on both sides, trying to find the line between protecting presidential authority and holding future presidents accountable for their actions.
If the potential for criminal liability is taken off the table, wouldn't there be a significant risk that future presidents would be emboldened to commit crimes with abandon while they're in office?
As for Trump, he was stuck in a New York courtroom for a separate hush money criminal case. A judge denied Trump's request to skip court to attend the Supreme Court session, but the former president had this to say before walking in.
If you don't have immunity, you're not going to do anything. You're going to become a ceremonial president.
We don't know how long the justices will take to issue their ruling, but the latest it could come out is at the end of June. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
The New York Court of Appeals has overturned Harvey Weinstein's sex crimes convictions. The court ordered a new trial. The disgraced Hollywood producer was convicted in 2020 of first-degree criminal sexual act and third-degree rape. He was sentenced to 23 years in prison. According to the appeals court ruling, the trial court allowed testimony about prior alleged sexual acts that portrayed Weinstein in a prejudicial light, and it should not have been included. Well, since yesterday afternoon, police have arrested hundreds more protesters at college and university campuses across the country. Comes as Columbia University sees some signs of solidarity with Jewish students. Fox News senior correspondent Jonathan Sari has more.
Pro-Palestinian protests continuing to spread across college campuses on Thursday.
You can see a show of force here.
Here in Atlanta, police used tear gas and tasers to disperse several dozen protesters gathering at Emory University. Multiple people were forcibly removed.
Not for war and occupation.
And in Boston, more than 100 demonstrators were arrested at Emerson College overnight. In New York, leaders at Columbia University say they will continue negotiating throughout at least midnight with students who have been camping out for more than a week.
There's a constitutional right for people to express their views and a constitutional right for people to come together and protest things.
The university says protesters agreed to remove tents and non-students from an encampment on the school's lawn. But Thursday afternoon, the lawn did not look much different than it did earlier in the week. And some Jewish students say they won't feel safe until that camp is removed.
That's why the administration sends out some emails to students updating them on what's going on. It's pretty much we're being left to fend for ourselves.
But signs of solidarity are starting to emerge. There is a United for Israel rally on campus Thursday night, and Israeli flags are being placed not far from the protests. And on Wednesday, House Speaker Mike Johnson warned military force could be on the table to clear out the tents.
The madness has to stop. The madness has to stop.
All this as schools prepare for the final days of the semester and graduation ceremonies. In Atlanta, Jonathan Sari, Fox News.
Well, some people buy a motorcycle during a midlife crisis. A bit later, we're going to learn how quarter-life crises are turning more young people to running.
Well, of course, we had showers, we had thunderstorms, even a couple severe thunderstorm warnings earlier for us this afternoon. But we have more rain, more severe weather, which is going to head toward us as we go through the next several days. Right now, we're kind of in a little bit of a break. We do have some showers down across northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Severe weather out to our west, but we're going to watch kind of south of Lubbock. Some thunderstorms will start to pop up and then race toward us late tonight and then into the morning hours. So on Friday, a severe threat, a level 2 out of 5, and we're going to have 2 shots for severe weather. The first shot's going to be in the morning, 6 to 10 a.m. These will be low-grade severe storms. 4 to 9 p.m., we're going to have a higher elevated threat for hail, wind, and tornadoes. So I'm going to elevate all the threats. But we're only going to see a couple storms pop up. It's just wherever those pop up, they could go severe very quickly. So first off, we're going to look at Friday. All right, so hit and miss showers and a few thunderstorms tonight. Thunderstorms pick up by morning. So here's about 5 o'clock in the morning, racing northeast. Some of these could be strong. Here's 7 a.m. Here's 8:30 in the morning, working into southwestern Missouri. So again, some heavy amounts of rain. Most of these are going to be out of here by the noon hour. Then if we can get sunshine, which I think we will, our front's going to be kind of back in our western counties. By 4 or 5 p.m., we should see a few supercells pop up. So we're going to have to watch this, because if we do get supercells pop up like this, they will have the chances to rotate. So we want to pay attention as we go through tomorrow afternoon. These will be gone by about 7 or 8 p.m. and then we look pretty good as we go all the way into Saturday afternoon. Then our next severe threat will start to roll in. So let's look at Saturday, a level 3 out of 5, especially on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. Timing 5 p.m. till 8 a.m. on Sunday. Hail, wind, tornadoes. We're going to elevate all the threats again, and we're going to make heavy rain a high threat because the ground's very saturated after all the showers and thunderstorms that we got to see through the morning hours today. So let's go into Saturday. Most of the day's fine. Warm mid-upper 70s to near 80 degrees. As we go through the afternoon, thunderstorms start to pop up. So here's 4 p.m. and race north and east. And these are going to have the chance to rotate as well as we get into Saturday afternoon. Showers, thunderstorms push through. Here's 9:30 p.m. Then another batch comes in through the night. These will be more wind makers into Sunday morning. Very heavy amounts of rain lasting all the way through the morning hours on Sunday. Then once we get to Sunday afternoon, very similar to tomorrow, we'll see if a few little supercells can pop up. So we have this severe threat at least over the next 3 days. Also check this out. Rainfall amounts, we saw a ton, but an additional 2 to 4 inches, definitely not out of the question. Alert days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Temps warm. Thunderstorm chances continue Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week.
All right.
It's that time of year.
It's a lot of stuff to be looking out for this weekend.
I know.
One day at a time, right?
Yep.
One day at a time. We can do it. All right. Thanks, Doug. Well, coal-fired power plants now need to capture their smokestack emissions or shut down. That comes from the Environmental Protection Agency, which has announced new rules to reduce pollution from power plants. The changes will limit greenhouse gas emissions from new natural gas-fired power plants and existing coal-fired power plants. They'll also reduce the release of toxic metals and mercury from coal plants and expand federal oversight of coal ash. Coming up in sports, we hear from the Pitt State football team ahead of their annual spring game. Plus, a lucky basketball fan makes the shot of a lifetime. Brock Baldridge has those stories and more up next.
The Pitt State football team wraps up their final spring practice ahead of their annual spring game, which is being played tomorrow night at Carney Smith Stadium. Earlier this morning, the Grills got to work in their indoor facility. Pitt State held spring practices almost every day this past month, and the players say they look forward to the opportunity to get out there on the field and even entertain some of the fans who plan to come watch the game on Friday night.
I think we're just excited to put some stuff out for the fans. We've been working hard all spring, weights, conditioning, and then we got to practicing. And I think the biggest thing for this team is just playing together.
Yeah, you're only given so many opportunities in spring ball, 15 opportunities for every team. So everybody gets the same amount of opportunities. It's just about who can do it a little bit better. So us as an offense and as a defense as a whole, we're just trying to really gel as a team and come together this spring and get ready for this upcoming season.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs are on the clock. Tonight, the Chiefs currently hold the 32nd overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. And there's been a lot of discussion this offseason on who the Chiefs to select in this year's draft. Well, here's how things stand at the moment. In the first 4 rounds, Kansas City presumably will make their selection very late tonight as they hold on to that pick number 32. Tomorrow, the Chiefs have pick number 64, 95, and Saturday, they have the 131st overall pick. So no trades yet. At the moment, Chiefs still have the 32nd pick as we roll on. Well, the Kansas City Royals wrap up their final game of the homestand against the Toronto Blue Jays. The Royals can win the 4-game series this afternoon with a win. Royals versus Blue Jays in the bottom of the first inning. Salvador Perez hits this deep into the Royals bullpen, and that ball is gone. It's a 2-run homer, puts Kansas City in front 2-0. In the second inning now, same score as Adam Frazier makes a diving catch in left field. Cole Reagan says, "Thank you very much." We head to the top of the 5th. Royals lead 2-1, and this might be one of the best catches you'll see all year. Kyle Isbell lays out on the warning track, and what an outstanding catch. Take a look again as Isbell has great focus on the play as he reels that one in. And from that moment on, well, the sky starts to open up. The rain continues through the day, and after a 4-hour rain delay, the umpires finally call the game. Royals play for 5 innings, so that's enough to win this one 2-1. Well, how about this? In last night's Oklahoma City Thunder playoff game, a lucky fan selected to make a shot of a lifetime, shooting all the way from half court. He nails it. Walks away from last night's game with a $20,000 check. Can you believe that? I mean,
that's a good shot. I wonder how much he'd been practicing that shot.
I mean, you only get selected one chance to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to make it on your chance, sometimes use the lottery. Sometimes, you get the bonus at a casino. But this fan.
Yeah, so if this, I mean, it takes skill. It's not just luck. You can't just throw it up there. Would you go for, an overhand shot like that or try to push it, or would you just try to granny it?
High arcing shot, if I could.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever made a half-court shot?
A few times.
Yeah.
Maybe behind the head, who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, over the shoulder?
Over the shoulder, exactly.
That'd be really cool. All right, thanks, Rod. We're back with more news after this. Young people are taking to physical activities to improve their health, with many turning to running. And the uptick might be related to a quarter-life crisis more than it is to health. Fox's Kendall Green has more.
Along the East River in Manhattan, accompanied by the bloom of spring, hundreds run, escaping life's everyday rush. And Justin's one of them.
It's more mental health activity than a physical health activity for me.
As an experienced runner, he's crossed quite a few marathon finish lines. 26 plus miles he's proud to have in his rear view. As more young people find themselves rushing towards the runner's high, like Nicole, who we literally ran into. What does running do for you?
Running makes me feel alive, using a lot of energy to get through my day. And it makes me happy.
And do you run marathons too?
I want to run a marathon. I'm training for half a marathon.
In 2023, nearly a fifth of runners who finished the New York City Marathon were in their 20s, compared to 15% back in 2019. Journalist Maggie Morton shares perhaps there's more behind the mileage.
Whether that's harder, taking longer to find a career path that is meaningful to them, or taking longer to find a partner, things like that, or moving to a new city, and not having friends.
She found younger runners were seeking purpose, identities, outside of the social norms like the house, spouse, and little ones. And some, in fact, were running through what she calls a quarter-life crisis.
Being able to find that within running is something that I think most people would say is pretty healthy.
Younger people in their 20s are running more, running marathons as a way to cope with life. Why do you think that is?
Helps. It is a real great stress relief. I'm not gonna lie. I shut off my brain. I just run, listen to music. You get a little, breathy, and it feels real good.
Yeah. But not everyone's just running from their problems. Many are running into who they want to become and find themselves inching a little closer to a marathon each time.
When I started running like 5Ks and 10Ks, then just the people, all the energy, they make you want to keep going. And I thought it was a good challenge, so.
Well, coming up, if the severe weather cancels your weekend plans, thanks, Doug, we'll check out the new movies releasing this week that you can check out instead. A couple of post-apocalyptic thrillers. Zendaya's sports drama, the story of an iconic band. Now here's a look at this week's new releases with Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
She's in another league.
Zendaya goes for game, set, match at the movies with challengers. The star plays a tennis player turned coach, trying to get her husband out of a losing streak by putting him into an event with his former best friend and her former boyfriend.
Welcome to the Resistance.
Bill Skarsgård leads the post-apocalyptic action of Boy Kills World as Boy, who's led by an inner voice he took from a video game, as he goes on a revenge-fueled mission against a matriarch of the dynasty, which left him orphaned, deaf, and voiceless.
We haven't seen a living thing in 3 years.
The post-apocalyptic thriller Sci-Fi Breathes stars Jennifer Hudson, Mila Jovovich, and Quvenzhané Wallis. Set on an Earth left uninhabitable due to lack of oxygen, a mother and daughter living underground are visited by a mysterious couple and forced into a new battle for survival.
How can we say goodbye to everything that we know and love?
Based on a true story is Unsung Hero, starring and directed by For King and Country's Joel Smallbone. The film is about his parents' journey from Australia to America, searching for a brighter future for their family.
He's still a kid with a dream and a guitar.
The documentary Rocky Lynn, Where I Belong on Prime Video is about the musician who started the Tribute to the Troops organization and how he found his biological family and discovered connections like a shared military history.
We have the #1 record on the planet.
Hulu's Thank You Good Night, the Bon Jovi story, tells the journey of the iconic band from their start in New Jersey to their rise to fame to what's next, including their upcoming album. Plus, in celebration of its 45th anniversary, Ridley Scott's 1979 sci-fi horror classic Alien will be re-released in theaters April 26th for Alien Day. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That sounds like fun. And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of twin tiger cubs at the Berlin Zoo. Oh, they're so sweet. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.